the prosecutor's star witness taking the stand. You may have heard about it. You may have readied for it. We are now here. The former Trump lawyer, Michael Cohen, testifying about the work he did for Trump, saying under oath this was the dirty work of a, quote, fixer, and recounting today, and the jury hearing it from his mouth for the first time, the road to the hush money payments at the center of this felony case against defendant Trump.
Big day in the criminal trial of former President Donald Trump.
The star witness takes the stand against Donald J. Trump.
Former fixer Michael Cohen, now the star witness in the New York versus Trump trial. Cohen on the stand.
An extraordinary showdown today in court.
The man at the center of the hush money payments scandal is testifying.
The ex-president coming face to face with the man who used to do his dirty work, who now has turned into the key witness.
Our own Nicole Wallace there, putting it succinctly, from dirty work to key witness. Prosecutors began today with questions about the deals made for what they call the catch and kill plot, including model Karen McDougal's story of her time with Trump. And that would have been a significant event, having a significant impact on the campaign if exposed. If exposed, it would, of course, hurt and expose Donald Trump, I should say. Now, Mr. Cohen on the stand said that under oath. That matters a lot. And it matters for the jury to hear it for the first time. But as I've told you before, and today's one of those days where this contrast matters a lot, what you know, what I know, what observers who follow this closely know is totally separate from what the jury learns in evidence, the strict rules for that. So when we say there are tapes, you as a person who's informed, as a news viewer, might go, yeah, no, I've heard about the tape. I've heard the tape itself. I've heard the tape more than once. But what's entered into evidence is a different level. So I can tell you as a legal matter, the fact that this tape is relevant, that it has been found to be credible, right? You don't put so-called, made up stuff into evidence. That matters. And today is the day, pursuant to Cohen's under oath testimony, that the jury is hearing this. The prosecution playing the now infamous tape for this jury. And boy, does it create problems for the defense arguments that all this is made up, or Cohen's a fabulist, or it all just came out of the blue. Well, if that were the case, why is the jury hearing something that sounds exactly like Donald Trump, that's been entered into evidence as Donald Trump, that the judge has said, yep, treat this as evidence, where Cohen is secretly talking with his client, then candidate Trump?
I need to open up a company for the transfer of all of that info regarding our friend David. I spoke to Alan about it when it comes time for the financing, which will be...
Listen, what financing?
We'll have to pay you. So
don't pay the kid.
No.
Cohen telling the jury under oath that he understood that the payment would come from Trump. That's why they were talking about cash and how to do it. Cohen saying, quote, what I was doing at the direction of and for the benefit of Trump. In other words, he did it. Michael Cohen, under oath, accusing his former client, his former boss, of these deeds. Now, we'll get to what the jury will make of Cohen's evolution. But even before you get to that, I can tell you this was bad. Okay, the jury's heard all these other things, some of them dry, some of them boring, some of them at times might sound convoluted, or why am I even watching a C-SPAN staffer talk about an old tape? I can tell you today didn't play that way. Today played like the prosecution had their star witness and they thought they have the defendant dead to rights. And they got Cohen to talk about this in detail and really explain it to the jury, often in very direct, narrow answers, like the payments to Daniels, and that Trump was angry to learn the whole thing had resurfaced in the critical campaign homestretch. Cohen recounted, I thought you took care of this, Cohen says that Trump told him. I thought this was under control. Just take care of it. A seemingly exasperated Trump told Cohen, upset that this had come back up, again, according to Cohen's account. Cohen testified that he, like others, viewed the Daniels story as a, quote, catastrophic event. I'm going to read this to you exactly as it happened today. What, if anything, did you think the potential impact of the Daniels story might have been on the campaign, the prosecutor asked? And there you see it. Cohen, catastrophic. As all of this was going down, Trump, as a defendant, at times was seen sort of looking away. He had his eyes closed, but at other times, according to the people inside the room, he was seen reacting to all of this with his head bowed, even looking somewhat concerned, according to at least one sketch artist there. Cohen paints a damning picture of his former client. And he says Trump was not only in on everything, but well aware of all of the cover-up around everything. So he was in on the plan, pay it off, and he was in on the cover-up. And he was in on the theory that Cohen and Pecker and other officials have conveyed that all of this would have an impact on the election. And that's central to the felony charge. That the cover-up was only for the 2016 election, not for some other set of reasons. Cohen walking the jury through the secret agreement with the Inquirer, which corroborates testimony from its own publisher, Pecker, who, of course, was kind of the first star witness at all of this, confirming that publishing the positive stories about Trump and negative stories about other candidates would be beneficial to the campaign. And the jury was then shown how that would work. Cohen, like Pecker, testified that Tabloid never paid to kill stories prior to this situation of helping the tabloid publisher's friend, Donald Trump, run for president. Now, recall, Trump's lawyers were able to show in questioning that the tabloid did coordinate with other people in the public eye and even some other candidates like Arnold Schwarzenegger about coverage. But it didn't get to the level of this very unusual catch and kill. And the big difference there is it's one thing to have some kind of agreement with people, sources or otherwise. It's another thing to start spending money on behalf of a campaign under the table. That's what's alleged. Cohen testifies when Daniel's story first resurfaced, Trump said this is going to be a disaster for the campaign. And that Trump told him basically delay the payments past the election. If I win, it won't have any relevance. If I lose, I don't really care, Trump said, according to Cohen's account. Now note that contrasts with Trump's bravado about always winning, or lying about when he does lose, like in 2020. A lot of people, including people friendly to Trump, view that as his natural way, or even honest way, or even, oh, he really does believe he won when he lost. But we have seen time and again people on the inside with him in private moments testifying under oath with a lot to lose, and you get this different picture. And this matters because this could hurt defendant Trump if the jury buys what they heard today. For example, right here, this then fixer says Trump was making plans about losing and how he would play that, how he would save money if he lost in the context of a campaign catch and kill deal. So that already is a lot. Prosecutors also used today to circle back to other individuals who've testified. And remember, Trump defense lawyers have gone after people like Keith Davidson, the lawyer you see on your screen, and suggested that maybe he was spinning or making things up in a certain way. But now you have people on both sides of emails and texts, both sides of the contract, and Cohen largely testified consistently with Davidson. Davidson, for example, had said Cohen was frustrating to work with because he made excuses for not paying on time. So remember, that's not like some compliment to Michael Cohen. It's just a claim about why things got delayed. And today, even if it comes to something that might be for some a very holy thing, how you use your time to worship or celebrate a holiday, Cohen admits that he was just trying to delay because Trump wanted to save money if he lost the election. So a very big holiday for him, the Yom Kippur holiday, that is one of the holiest days of the year for Jews. Cohen says, well, he delayed the payment thinking after the election it wouldn't matter and he would just use the holiday and other things as an excuse. And when asked, well, according to who it wouldn't matter after the election, Cohen said, according to Mr. Trump. Now, under pressure from Daniel's team, Trump did come around weeks before the election. And according to Cohen, told him there's no reason to keep this thing out there. Just do it. Meet up with Weisselberg. Figure it out. Weisselberg is the now jailed CFO of the organization, who's basically gone to jail twice now for Trump-related crimes. We do not yet see evidence or indication that he'll testify, although the judge did ask about it. And we know the payments to Daniels came directly from Cohen, but that the plan was it was Trump's money, that all along it would be Trump's money, that Cohen was fronting the money just like a friend could loan you money or a bank could loan you money. This was just a bit more secretive. But Cohen says to the jury today, Trump promised to repay him. And he wouldn't have paid Daniels without that promise, permission, and plan, because everything required Mr. Trump's sign-off, he testified. And he, Michael Cohen, wanted his money back. Now, then there's the questions about family. The defense has tried to argue that Trump, like many other people, might simply want to avoid personal family problems, public embarrassment, and would have those other motivations, not the campaign thing, which again matters because the DA has to prove the campaign motive if it's going to be a campaign crime. So again, imagine that you're a member of this jury. Most of this stuff is new to you. You're supposed to keep an open mind, and you're following these claims over time. And so far, the prosecutors have put on person after person after person with a lot of corroboration along with the receipts. And so Cohen addressed this as well. And he said no. It wasn't about Melania. Quote, this was all about the campaign, according to Trump's motive, campaign's conduct, and the risks they took to keep this secret. Now you take that all together, and this is what they call corroboration. It doesn't mean it's done. If we were scoring this, we would say the prosecutors are way up. But they're supposed to be. They almost have to be at this point. They've been in control of the case. And as for Cohen, they're up with him saying a lot of bad stuff about his boss that he has personal eyewitness knowledge of. This isn't some hearsay. This isn't some conjecture. He literally has tapes of his boss. He has texts. He has emails. And he has his explanations around it. He's already been in and out of prison. He's under the threat of perjury. He has every reason to be telling the truth right now. That's bad for the defendant.